Did you know that Satan, formerly known as Lucifer, was once one of the most glorious creatures in heaven? He led the worship in God's throne room and walked on fiery stones. So, how did he stray from God and become humanity's enemy? Today, we will explore the rise and fall of Lucifer, revealing surprising details about his transformation into Satan. Get ready for a revealing journey. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell for more enlightening content. Lucifer, whose name means light bearer, was one of the most glorious beings in heaven. He led the worship in God's throne room, walking on fiery stones and being perfect in all his ways. Some theologians believe that Lucifer had musical instruments built into him, and as he walked, these instruments played and offered glorious worship to God. To understand Lucifer's greatness, it's essential to know how the heavenly realm operates. There are different archangels with angels under their command. Michael is a warrior archangel with angelic warriors under him. Gabriel is a messenger archangel with messenger angels under him. And Lucifer was a worship archangel with worship angels under him. Isaiah 14 verses 12 to 15 describes Lucifer's fall. How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens, I will raise my throne above the stars of God, I will sit enthroned on the mount of assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds, I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit. Ezekiel 28 verses 13 to 18 also provides a description. You were in Eden, the garden of God, every precious stone adorned you, carnelian, chrysolite and emerald, topaz, onyx, and jasper, lapis lazuli, turquoise, and beryl. Your settings and mountings were made of gold, on the day you were created they were prepared. You were anointed as a guardian cherub, for so I ordained you. You were on the holy mount of God, you walked among the fiery stones. You were blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you. Lucifer did not want to be just like God, he wanted to be God. As children of God, we must strive to be like God in our character, but Lucifer wanted to overthrow the Lord and become God. Lucifer was a beautiful being, perfect in all his ways, identified as a son of the morning. He had a relationship with God the Father and was under his authority. Here is a little secret that you probably won't believe, Lucifer was actually in the image of God. How do we know this? First, let's look at how God the Father appears in the Bible. Revelation 4 verses 2 to 5 says, At once I was in the Spirit, and there before me was a throne in heaven with someone sitting on it. And the one who sat there had the appearance of jasper and ruby. A rainbow that shone like an emerald encircled the throne. God seems to have an appearance of jasper and ruby, which must mean that these stones are somehow engraved into his body and shine to give a ruby appearance. That is why it says in the passage we previously read that every precious stone was Lucifer's covering. Just as every precious stone was engraved into God the Father, so every precious stone was engraved into Lucifer. Let's take a step further and look at the breastplate of the Old Testament priests, found in Exodus 28 verses 6 to 12, make the ephod of gold, and of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and of finely twisted linen, the work of skilled hands. It is to have 2 shoulder pieces attached to 2 of its corners, so it can be fastened. Its skillfully woven waistband is to be like it, of 1 piece with the ephod and made with gold, and with blue, purple, and scarlet yarn, and with finely twisted linen. The breastplate was one of the 8 priestly garments worn by the high priest when serving in the holy temple. It featured 12 precious stones corresponding to the 12 tribes of Israel and served as a medium through which the Lord provided direction to the Jewish people. Why did God instruct the high priest to wear a breastplate of 12 precious stones? Because God was trying to reveal his image through the priesthood. 1 John 1 verse 5 says that God is light and in him there is no darkness. So, if God is light and Lucifer means light bearer, then Lucifer was bearing or reflecting God's light. What would happen is that when Lucifer entered God's presence in worship with those precious stones engraved in him, God's light would shine on Lucifer's body, which would then shine on all those precious stones, creating a beautiful and glorious scene. Lucifer ended up deceiving a third of his angels to turn against God. Remember, Lucifer did not deceive a third of the angels of heaven, he only deceived a third of the angels that were under him. Have you ever wondered how Satan managed to deceive a third of his angels to turn against their Creator? It is because after Lucifer came out of God's presence, he would be so filled with glory that he looked like God, and that became the closest those angels got to seeing God. Lucifer began to think that he no longer needed to bow to God, that he could be God. He then went out to deceive a third of the angels that were under him, and a war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against Lucifer and his angels. It was a bloody scene. After what seemed like decades of war between the two angelic armies, the Lord of hosts intervened and cast Lucifer back down to earth with his fallen angels. Jesus, the Word, was also there and saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. Lucifer then became Satan. He is no longer a bearer of light but a bearer of darkness. Satan appears again in the Bible to Adam and Eve in the form of a serpent, where he deceives them into eating the forbidden fruit. He succeeded and caused Adam to bring a curse upon humanity. Satan also appears before God concerning Job and ends up attacking Job's life. He also appeared to Jesus in the wilderness and tempted him after his 40-day fast. This is found in Matthew 4 verses 4 to 10, where he said to Jesus, "If you are the Son of God, tell these stones to become bread." Jesus answered, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that comes from the mouth of God." The book of Revelation states that Satan will be bound for 1,000 years and then released. This is seen in Revelation 20 verses 1 to 3, where it says, "And I saw an angel coming down out of heaven, having the key to the abyss and holding in his hand a great chain. He seized the dragon, that ancient serpent, who is the devil, or Satan, and bound him for 1,000 years. He threw him into the abyss, and locked and sealed it over him, to keep him from deceiving the nations anymore until the 1,000 years were ended. After that, he must be set free for a short time." Further down the text, it says, "When the 1,000 years are over, Satan will be released from his prison and will go out to deceive the nations in the four corners of the earth, Gog and Magog, and to gather them for battle. In number they are like the sand on the seashore." They marched across the breadth of the earth and surrounded the camp of God's people, the city he loves. But fire came down from heaven and devoured them. And the devil, who deceived them, was thrown into the lake of burning sulfur, where the beast and the false prophet had been thrown. They will be tormented day and night forever and ever. Lucifer became Satan through the first sin, which was pride, leading to his downfall. Pride comes before a fall, so make sure you don't let your ego get the better of you, or you might fall as well. Remember the words of the Savior, "For all those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted." If you enjoyed this video, click the thumbs up button and check out the video showing on the screen right now. Thank you.